Hey there, Middler Strategy Battle Gamers. So we're doing a tactics talk today, and our tactics talk is going to be on Rohan. Since we kind of made our new tactics talk a kind of a core segment in our channel, I'm redoing the Rohan one. I'll leave it up, kind of have two different eras of our channel if anyone wants to go check that one out. But yeah, I'm doing Rohan. So you can currently find the Rohan army list in this source book, and you can find the old rules, and this is a blast from the past, and this. Some of the original Rohan profiles were in here. But we're using this one because this is the current. So, out of all the armies that I own, and kind of as long as I've been playing, Rohan's the first army I played, the one I've been building and playing since 10 years now, 2006, 7, something like that. So I know a lot about Rohan. I've had a lot of fails, I've had a lot of success with them, I've had a lot of tabled experience with them. So this will probably be a long tactics talk just because I have a lot to say about them, which is, a good thing. You guys who want to start Rohan, use me as a resource. Alright, so they have, so how I break it up in this is Rohan's weaknesses. Before I list the heroes and start talking about their strengths. Rohan's weaknesses. So their weaknesses are heavy infantry armies. Dwarves, Isengard, things that you need 6s to wound, they need 5s to wound you. Which, you could say like Gondor and stuff, but then there's strength 5, heroes, stuff like that. It's a big weakness for Rohan. Crossbows are dirty against Rohan, stuff like that. Dwarves. So heavy infantry armies. When you keep in mind heavy infantry armies, Rohan bad, especially on kind of hold ground objectives where you're forced to contest a small area. It can be bad for Rohan. So that's why you want to play smart. You want to use the resources they have. So heavy infantry armies, other cavalry armies, Mirkwood Rangers, that kind of things with a lot of magic, things that can knock you off your horse, stuff like that. Which I had a video the other day where I was talking about Hurl. Mainly when I talk about Hurl, I talk about me playing Rohan and getting hurled, because when you have like 6 riders get knocked off their horse in the first or second turn, I mean it's pretty depressing. You're like, oh, my horses, horse lords. So I'm gonna start off with their heroes. Okay, so they got great heroes, they have mediocre heroes, and they have heroes that I don't take just because they're better. When I say mediocre heroes, I'm not meaning to sound mean or anything, I'm just saying that they're not as good as the others. So now what in Rohan is we're fight 5, which makes sense in a way because they are just men. They don't, they're not like the Lion of Numenor, they're just like Northmen. I would like to see some fight 6 added in the next edition, but lore-wise, I mean, I've never been mad about it, or, upset, well, why don't they have fight 6? I know some people are kind of upset about that, which, they're just men. Okay, so Theoden and Theodred and Hamma are the first page of heroes. Theoden's my favorite Rohan character. In the movie, you get kind of attached to Theoden, especially in the Two Towers, but I don't really use him anymore. I use him from time to time. I used to take him to tournaments and stuff. Against just infantry, like Uruk-hai, Harad, he's really good at killing infantry. His might, his fight 5, his strength 4, that stuff like that. But then when you start talking about his lack of will, he has no will in his profile. Casters like Saruman, ring wraiths who can command him out, charge him, hurl him, that kind of thing. Sorcerers blasting him. For his price, it gets pretty bad to have him because he can die quickly, and he's too expensive to have just to kill infantry. So then next is his son Theodred. Now Theodred is an awesome guy. Like in the book, he's awesome. In the movie, for his 2 scenes, he's awesome. But he's an awesome profile, except he has no fate. So he is a 3 might, 3 will. And you're like, okay, well, right off the bat, that's a really good profile. Especially since you like having 3 might heroes for Rohan. Lack of fate, though, it takes a hurl, it takes 2 6s with the Iron Hills bodyguard or whatever they were called, the guys at 2 tacks for Durance Folk, Iron Hills Guard, I think what they're called. So yeah, I've had some experiences. He's actually never died for me, but if I take him to a tournament, he would probably die. It's not worth banking, because again, he's pretty expensive to have no fate. Hamma, I've never really played around with Hamma much. He just, to me, his profile is, it's good, but he has no fate. He's relatively expensive. Lack of might, you can have 3 might heroes, and his one rule is you have to have fate in your army, and he pretty much has bodyguard. So, moving on. So okay, the next page, 2 pages, are really where it's at. So Aemir, both profiles of Aemir are really good. One of them is more expensive, but he's really good at combat. He has 3s in all the right places. This is the profile where if they give him fight 6, I think this is the one they should give it to him. Because in the Battle of Pelennor, Aragorn, Emerhill, and Aemir were the 3 men who got out of the battle unscathed. So I think it'd be kind of lore friendly. I think it'd be cool. Not at Pelennor. I do think they'll probably merge the profiles together in the next edition, but we'll see what happens. So then we got Marshall the Rittermark, who's the cheaper of the 2. He's a little bit more versatile in his upgrades, and he's normally the one I take, especially at 700 points, which is what we're doing for our kind of prep for Nova. He's a good hero. He's like, either profile of Aemir is normally the first or second hero profile I put on my list. Eowyn, she's a really good hero. She's kind of a good 3rd wheel or 4th wheel, depending on how many points you play. Having her in there for her might, her fight 5, she's really cheap, so she's worth taking. Really cheap. Grimbold, when I play Rohan, the horse lords, in my opinion, they have to be mounted. Because the one time I took a foot Rohan army, it underperformed their fight 3, that kind of thing. So Grimbold, hopefully in the future he'll get a horse, but for right now I just don't play around with him much. He's a cool profile, or cool model, cool in the books, that kind of thing, but I don't use him much. He can upgrade your guys to a higher fight, but then, he has like a tuned weapon, he doesn't have burly, that kind of thing, so, he's a lower fight hero, so normally I don't take him, but if you want to try and run him with some warriors, I consider he could be good. Okay, so then Mariotic Knight of the Mark. I don't use him much. I own the model for him, but he can't lead a warband, and he can be on a pony and stuff. But I just like taking heroes that can lead a warband, even if I don't have to, have them lead a warband. It's nice to have that option. Okay, so gambling, captain of Rohan. So, depending on points values, I do take this profile quite a bit. I like having a hero with a banner to me is a win, and his banner does an additional thing, so if your hero's out of might, then he gives him 1 point of might back within 3 inches. So, I do like this, because Rohan's very might dependent. For getting charges, for doing heroic strikes, those 2 things right there are big deals. Because Rohan, you have to get charges. You have to, even if you don't win priority, you have to be able to say, okay, well, Aemir's here, I have to do a heroic move and get the charge here. So having that kind of might store is really good, especially late game. If you can get your opponent out of might and you still have gambling around, it's pretty good. Sometimes I've had a few games where I don't even run out of might, so his banner didn't help much other than the rerolls. But yeah, no, he's a good model to have. And then the last profile on this page is Erkenbrand, and he's always the second hero profile I put in my army, just because he's really cheap. He can take a horse. He's a really good might pool, and his horn buffs your guys' courage really well, and he can make your guys fight 4, your Rohan Riders, which is really good because when you start versing armies like Isengard or dwarves, being able to tie with them instead of them rolling a 6 and automatically losing kind of deal. So having the fight 4 riders, to me, because the run riders are their most versatile unit, so having them is having them fight 4 is real good. So then Captain of Rohan. I own the Captain of Rohan models. I own a couple of them. I just don't take them because to me the other profiles are that much better. They're only fight 4, which for fight Rohan you want to have their fight 5 heroes. King's Huntsman. I own the model for him. He's just he can't lead a warband, and his rule's really good. But he's kind of 50-50 in points, and I don't really. He's a foot guy as well. So, and then the last hero profile on this page is Errol the Young, and Errol the Young is awesome. I don't take him because I'm really weird. Just because he's like a different era of Rohan in terms of lore, and I like having the War of the Rings heroes in my army. But hey, at Nova, I might use him because he's really cheap. He's really good. So yeah, he's always a really good hero to have. He's a really good might pool, and he has the ability to keep getting might. He is like similar to Aragorn's, similar to like a Taskmaster. You do like a heroic, and you roll your dice on a certain number. It's free, so it's a really good rule. Okay, so going into the troop choices. So, Warriors of Rohan are so the first profile on here is the Riders of Rohan. I've gotten to a point where I just take Riders. I don't take any of their special units, just because the Riders to me are so versatile. They got a good bow limit rule. They can have the same courage as elves. They can have same courage as elves with Erkenbrand, to clarify. And they can have the higher fight with Erkenbrand. So they become... So normally, like, before the Erkenbrand got his rule, where he can upgrade guys to fight 4, the Sons of Errol and the Rohan Royal Guard were really good because they had the fight 4. So... Now that they can have fight 4, to me the other two profiles are still good because they have the higher defense, higher strength, higher attack kind of deal. Which Sons of Errol are awesome. 2 attack, strength 4. They are a little bit expensive to field, but having like a warband of them with Errol Young, that'd be pretty devastating. Rohan Outriders, they used to have a combo where you can they'd have 0 might in their profile, in the old Lord of the Rings profile, like Two Towers book, they had 0. So you can take Gambling and give them might. So you could potentially get like a whole army of guys of might, your Outriders. But they got rid of that. They're a little bit more balanced now. So they got their Vanguard rule, which means they can take Steadfast even if they're not in range of the hero, which is a really good rule, nonetheless. They have the higher courage anyway, and they got a better shot value. I don't really take them because, again, the Riders, to me, are just so versatile. The fight 4, and the higher courage doesn't matter when you have Erkenbrand. So really, Erkenbrand is a good anchor for the army. He gives your guys the higher courage, the higher fight. So that's why he's normally one of the first models I put on my list. So that's really all the profiles I use. The ones I've talked about. So profiles I kind of want to see. So I know a lot of people think Rohan needs fight 6 heroes. I'm one of the guys. I think they need a fight 6 hero, maybe 2, because every other man faction in the game, I believe, have a fight 6 hero. I think most actually armies in the game have a fight 6 model, at least a fight 6 model. So I think it'd be cool if they got a fight 6, except for like the Shire, which is a little bit different. But so 2 profiles, I think they can do a Helm Hammerhand model, or a Elf Helm. Those 2 profiles can be added. They can have fight 6. Because Amir, as is, I think he's really balanced. If they gave him fight 6, I think it'd be good, but they might buff his points for that, which I don't know if I want to see him get more expensive. It'd be nice for him to have fight 6, but maybe adding one of those, both, maybe 1 or 2 both of those models, like profiles I just talked about, giving one of them fight 6, maybe giving one of them a higher strength, something like that. But yeah, no, so Rohan, when you play for Rohan, depending on the objective of the game, so if you're playing an objective-based game with more than one objective, if you're playing a hold ground, like a kill game, like a Lords of Battle, you really want to make sure you use your bowfire, you want to use your might to get charges, and you want to try and, I don't know if I want to give my tactics away, but you want to almost make your opponent split up to fight you, because you don't want to, if you charge a shield wall of Gondor or Isengard with your guys, then it's almost game over with them. At least that's what I've learned. You can't do a ride to ruin with them. But yeah, no, so that's really all I got to say about Rohan. They're an awesome army to play. They're a little less forgiving than others, so new players, unless you're really attached to the characters from the movie and the book, I would recommend maybe starting an easier army. So that's it. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Happy wargaming.